Hey, how's it going, guys? I got another video for you, and this time we're going to be talking about a recent interview done with Ian Hazzikostas. Now, there's a couple things they said, but I really want to stick to more or less the 7.3 stuff. Now, I'm not going to go over everything that they said. I just basically wanted to reiterate what they said and then give my opinion on it because I thought, why not? So, one thing I don't want to get wrong is the first topic, and that is invasion points in 7.3. So let's go ahead and I'm going to read a description that WoW had published. The Legion has been assaulted. Azeroth. Someone needs to proofread before they hit enter. But the Burning Crusade of Sargeras, is about scouring other worlds. On Argus, you find a Legion portal network where the Legion is assaulting other worlds. When you go through this portal using a Rift Stone covered from the wreckage of Kil'jaeden's ship, you'll be getting glimpses of all new planets. That sounds pretty freaking cool if you ask me. You'll go behind the Legion invasion force, take them out, fight a boss, do a holdout event, and complete an objective there. The two Rift items data mined so far are a charged Rift Stone, allows entry into lesser rifts and greater rifts, and a depleted Rift Stone allows entry into lesser rifts. Now, the idea behind it sounds really cool, though when they say glimpses of all new planets, let's be honest, it's going to be probably a very, very, very small area that really isn't an actual planet, but just this one small zone, and that's about it. Maybe they'll have some cool skybox effects, but other than that, we're probably not going to get to actually explore any new planets besides Argus, and that's fine. I don't want them to overcrowd 7.3 with so much shit, and then there'd be nothing in it. But the thing I really wanted to talk about with this is Rift Stones, greater rifts. Maybe you don't play Diablo 3, but if you do, that sounds pretty familiar. So I wonder if they're going to work the same as in Diablo, where you got two different rifts. The normal one, you go in there, not that challenging, you do it at your own pace, you get some loot at the end, and then you get a greater rift key, which then you can go do greater rifts, which are timed, they are harder, but they give a hell of a lot better loot. So I'm wondering if the charged Rift Stone is basically a greater Rift Stone, and the depleted Rift Stone is, well, they don't have that in Diablo. You can just do Nephilim Rifts all you want. You don't have to have a Rift Stone, but I'm assuming that's basically the lesser Rifts or normal Rifts in Diablo 3, and then the greater Rifts are like the greater Rifts in Diablo 3. If that's the case, we've getting a little bit closer to Diablo 3 with Legion, and I really don't want them to see, I don't want to see them keep going down that path, because I want them to be two separate games, mainly because, well, Diablo 3 has died, and WoW's dying. Don't think we want to go to the dead game, we want to go back the opposite way. So that's basically it for the Rift area, the Diablo area. So another thing that they mentioned is Legion, what's the word they used? They're most ambitious. I have it written down, but I can't read my own fucking handwriting. It looks like a second grader. It actually looks like a pre-Ker did it, honestly. Their most ambitious expansion, and with 7.3, they want to kind of further that. Now, I don't really know if it's their most ambitious expansion. I haven't really seen much of it. In fact, it seems like they've been cutting corners and shit, with the legendary system and all that, but I don't want to bring that up because, people are so divided on that shit. So they say it's like their most ambitious. They probably think that it is, but I haven't really seen, any crazy ideas that they've implemented that we haven't already seen, or that they've barely tweaked or made worse. It's been kind of, like flatline for me, at least, and I know a bunch of other people. It's either flatlined or it's just gone downhill. So if that's where their ambition is at now, I'm scared for the future of WoW. I'm not trying to be a dick or anything. It's what I feel as a player that's been playing since the end of vanilla. So I'm hoping with 7.3 they can actually, bring back some of those WoW elements, some of those MMORPG elements, instead of, just gambling and all the other shit that I'm not going to get into. So I'm, just like with Legion, I'm hopeful. I was hopeful before Legion. I'm hopeful 7.3, just being on a new world and kind of allowing them to not do over, but sort of do over, if you get what I'm saying, with Argus being its own planet, really interesting quest line, really interesting raid dungeon, models, the beast models and all that other shit. Just give us some really cool stuff and some interesting stuff, and don't, give us one quest every week or every 2 weeks that can be done in 5 minutes, like the Broken Shore. Give us something worth working for on Argus. So hopefully 7.3 is going to be way bigger than 7.2 in content-wise. I would love to see that. A minor thing that they did want to talk about that was kind of funny was pet battles. I don't know what they're going to do. I guess they feel like, people aren't doing them as much as they could, and I kind of understand why. You don't want to play a mini game inside of a game already. That's a little weird. But then again, I have very minutely enjoyed pet battles to an extent, so maybe they'll do some more of those dungeons to get me some cool shit that can make me some money. That'd be really cool. Otherwise, I really don't care what they do with it. If they keep it, they don't add anything else, and it is how it is, whatever. So the biggest thing I want to talk about for this video is something that they said, and it goes basically along the lines of dungeon participation is the highest it's ever been. Now, that's probably true, but that's only because people are forced to participate in dungeons, and I guarantee you, like, their whatever percentage is higher than normal or previous expansions. Let's just say it's 50% more, just to make it easy. I don't know the percentages. They didn't say, at least I don't think they did. Let's say it's 50% more than any other expansion. I guarantee you that 50% more isn't normal, it isn't heroic, and it's not even mythic. It's mythic pluses. I guarantee you that's where all of the extra participation has been coming from with dungeons. And that makes sense considering you kind of were forced to do it to full in 7.1. I think that's when we could still upgrade our weapon to an end. I'm not really sure. Yeah. Anyways, the first time we were upgrading our weapons, there was an end goal, and once you got to it, you couldn't put anything more in there. So I feel like Mythic Pluses were like almost needed to do high-end raiding. They still are, of course, but now there's no end to it. But you really needed those to get capped out on your weapon, so you can secure your raid spot for mythics. You can do enough DPS for heroics, and then it didn't really matter normal or LFR. But again, in 7.2.5, Night Hold and everything, we still basically have to run Mythic Pluses because you can only do the raids once a week. You can only do the daily heroic and stuff once a day. There really isn't anything more. You can do world quests, but they really don't give that much AP. So the only other place you can really farm AP is Mythic Pluses. At least that's the easiest way. You could probably do it with PvP, I'm assuming, but that's takes longer. Definitely takes more skill in some instances, depending. We're not going to get into that either. So I feel like, when they said that dungeon participation is the highest it's ever been, or pretty much the highest it's ever been, I just thought that was a little stupid thing to say, because of course it's going to be the highest it's ever been. You're basically forcing people to do Mythic Pluses, not normal chillax dungeons, but Mythic Plus versions, so you can get some trinkets that you might need, or a ring that you might need, relic, or just flat out AP that you now really need, since there again is no cap for it. So that's basically it. Like I said, that's not everything they talked about. I really just wanted to go more towards the 7.3 stuff because we're already in 7.2. There's really no reason to talk about it. I didn't think there was like some super crazy shit that they said that really is worth talking about. So that's it. Again, you could probably just, I don't know exactly where it is, but you could Google the interview. I'm sure it's somewhere. It might be on MMO Champion, it might be on Wowhead or YouTube or whatever. Maybe even on the Blizzard Battle app. But that's going to be it for this video. I do hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know what you think with either some of the things they said that I didn't mention, or some of the things that I did mention. The Diablo 3 rifts, the dungeon participation, anything like that. Let me know, and I'll talk to you guys later.